It's game day. The Sabres have played good tonight. Wait, I got no beer. Don't!
All right, so we start the West. This is it. This is the West trip that we got to get out of the way early in the season, so we're going to see how the boys play. And I was just thinking about the game and what the matchups might be. And you know, folks, I'm hoping, I might not get my way, but I'm hoping to see a lot of Cousins and Asplund against McDavid. I'm hoping to see a lot of that today, especially Cousins. He really fared well against McDavid, you might recall in that game last year, where he just, they gave him the task of covering McDavid, and he did an excellent job. So maybe this is the route we go today, I'm thinking. And it would just make sense to me. Bigger guy that can play well defensively and has some grit against the league's best player. So we shall see. We shall see what the matchups will be. I'm sure Granato's going to flip through the lineup, guys. He's just going to do that, you know, as the game goes on if things aren't working. And he said something in his press conference for me that made a lot of sense. He talked about how we can't just expect the guys to be in sync like they were at the end of last year. It doesn't work that way. There's been months off. They'll find their groove again. It's going to take some time, all that stuff, you know. So don't get too discouraged, guys, if they don't look in sync again today like what we seen late last year, because we got better to come than what we seen last year at the end by the way this season should go. Sooner or later, the chips will fall into place, and they'll be all, you know, the stars will align, and they'll start to look like a team again. Like every line will be kicking and all that stuff, you know. So this is it. We start with the big one in Edmonton. This shouldn't be a fun game at all. It's going to be a hard one, but you know, we go in there. There's no pressure. There's no pressure to win, really. Those days aren't here yet that we're pressured to win this game. But of course we want to. We want to go in there and we want to do best we can to win this game and come out of there with a win. Because what a start to the road trip it would be if we could win this one. You know, these are one of those games that you've seen. What I say, Edmonton would beat us 6-2 or something. I called for 2 beatings in our 2 losses. This was one of them. I could see us just this game getting out of control for us tonight. But you know, it's weird. The league's weird. I mean, we could look great in Calgary and Edmonton, then we look like terrible in Vancouver and Seattle. It's a weird, you know, it's a weird thing when we're on the West. I never trust any game on the West. So, you know, guys, I'm really hoping for 2-1-1. That's kind of my long-term goal with this. I think I would lose my mind if we went 4-0 somehow. And I would probably lose my mind the same way if we go 0-4-0. You know, I don't want to come out of this West trip just with my head down thinking, oh my goodness, you know, we're in a hole again to start the season. But the only bright spot to this road trip for me, folks, is that we get it off the schedule. We get these games off the schedule early. Some of them. I mean, there'll be other West trips, right? But this is a big one. You got Calgary, Edmonton, in Vancouver. It's huge. It's huge. And Seattle we haven't beaten yet. So this is big. This is a big one. And I don't see why we can't go in there and get a split, though, 2-2. Somehow, some way. I don't see why we can't. If our game gathers and gets more in sync, like I was saying earlier. If we get more in sync on this road trip, and what better way to do it, guys, than to be forced into it? I mean, we're going to be forced into a state of reasonableness in this road trip. You know, there's that line I like to say, beaten into a state of reasonableness. Well, that is what we are in right now. We're going to have to elevate our game to survive this trip. There's just no way around that. We have to elevate our game, or we're going to be coming out of there not feeling too good about anything as a Sabres fan by the time it's all said and done, as these road trips can kill your season early. You know, it happened last year where we had the good start. We went on the West. We started losing on the West, you might recall. Games we should have won, too, like the LA game. Wasn't that overtime? I mean, there was games we should have won. And then the next thing you know, the season kind of went like this for a while, and then we woke up. And by the time we woke up, it was too late. So I don't want to see like a copy paste of that last year. I want to see the guys go in there somehow and get a convincing split where we look good all 4 games and we deserve to win 2 of those games no matter what. A convincing split. I don't care which 2. If I had my choice, it'd be Calgary, Edmonton, of course. I don't care which 2. As long as we come out 2-2, no matter what. But the goal for me is 2-1-1 in these 4 games. And I don't think it's a stretch. I just think we have to have goaltending. Comrie will have to give us his best on this trip, and Comrie will be used to these buildings, as we know. He'll be used to these buildings. And I just don't see how we can't come out 2-2 if we play well. If we play well. The only reason I think we could come out of this like 1-3 or something is because we just didn't look good still. We haven't woken up still, that kind of thing. So I am going to just go with the flow, guys. I'm going with the flow. I'm hoping that the Sabres continue where they left off last game at the end when there was a scrum on the ice. I'm hoping that's the Sabres team I see start this game. I'm hoping to see Dylan Cousins on Connor McDavid. I think that's the matchup we should go with. I really do. Forget Cousins scoring today. Just put him on McDavid all game. If we can do that and be successful, guys, if we could shut down McDavid and Draisaitl, then we have a good chance to win this game. It's really that simple. If you shut down their superstars, or at least contain them where they don't kill you, then you got a chance, you know? But if we go in there and we just like are standing there like little kids watching McDavid and Draisaitl look pretty and doing their thing, then we're finished. We're finished before the game starts. So let's see what the boys do, okay? I'll get to my notes, guys. I'm behind again. Not so bad this time. I know it's about 20 videos behind, but I will be getting to my notes probably tomorrow. So any of you that have request or, I'll leave the heart to let you know when I've read your note. That's a signal I do on the channel, that I'll leave a heart to just let heart the comment just to let you know I've read it. And once I get through the notes, I will be free to jump on more videos, because the more videos I make, I know the more I'm falling behind too, and that gets in my head. So I will be on that. All right, guys, let's go Buffalo. Let's try and get anything we can on this West trip. Again, the goal, guys, 2-2. The thrill for this guy would be 2-1-1. And if we go 4-0, we're all going to be talking Stanley Cup, right? There you go. All right, have a good one, and let's get them tonight. See you in the postgame.